Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on basically just the DC TV stuff in general, because it's stuff on a handful of DC TV shows, and yeah. So this video is going to be basically just a bit of a commentary rather than like a necessarily like an information video. But the first thing I do want to say is that I don't know specifically when this video is going to go up, because I am going into a bit of an upload model where it might be a video every 2 days or something like that, rather than daily, just because there's a bit of a lack of news, and there'll be a lack of news for a couple of weeks. So we'll wait and see. It's probably going to be a video every 2 days for at least a week or so. But whenever this video goes up, a couple of days ago or a few days ago, I did hit 250,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy, 250,000. Like the fact that my channel, which focuses on such limited content, if you want to call it, like, you know, like such limited content can reach 250,000 subscribers is just crazy. So I have to thank you guys for supporting the channel, whether you subscribed just now and you were the 250,000th and second subscriber, or you were my second or third subscriber. I just need to thank you guys for that, and just the constant support, whether it is daily or just every now and then. Thank you. But as a thank you for you guys, or to you guys for supporting, I am actually going to be doing something to sort of like celebrate that 250,000 subscriber milestone. And they're a bit cringe. So down in the description, it'll be like towards the top, I'm going to include a link to a straw poll. And you can click that and vote for an option that will happen, you know, probably in the next month or two, because I have to wait specifically for certain videos to happen. The first one is probably the cringiest of them all, but it's one that people constantly want, especially in live streams, and that is a floss and dab combo in a video. Hopefully that doesn't win. The next option is to dress up as the Flash for my episode 1 review for the Flash season 6, and the last option is to dress up as the Green Arrow for my episode 1 review of the Arrow season 8. So that link to that straw poll is in the description down below. Go down there, click it, vote. Please vote for one of the dress up ones, because I'd rather dress up as one of those characters rather than have to floss and dab. Even though they'd probably take like 5 seconds rather than sitting in a video for 10 plus minutes in a suit, I'd rather sit in the suit. Please vote for one of the suits. You're all going to vote for the floss and dab combo now, aren't you? I've just ruined it for myself. Anyway, let's move on. But obviously we just started on a positive note, just talking about, like, you know, me thanking you guys for reaching that milestone. The rest of the video, it's not necessarily negative, it's more just concerning, and you'll understand when we jump into it. So there is this, there's been, I wouldn't say necessarily this news spread, but news came out, and it's a consistent, this news, I guess you could call it source, is a consistent source of fake news and misleading news and just made up stuff that does get spread and like spread down the grapevine, and people believe it. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend that I'm like Einstein times 7. I've believed some of it as well, because it sounds legitimate. Obviously, some of you guys might be going, oh, it's wegotThiscovered.com or whatever that website's called. That is a source of bullcrap, so don't believe that site. But this other site is cosmicbook.news. I thought it was cosmicbooknews.com. Anyway, cosmicbook.news. Now, I'm going to go through an article. I'm not going to link the article. Don't look for the article. Don't click it, because I don't want you guys to give them ad revenue and give them clicks or anything. So I'm going to screenshot it. It's going to be on screen. You'll be able to see exactly what I'm reading. So don't go looking for it, because don't support this piece of poo. But anyway, as you can see from the top, the article is called Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow Could Still Get Cancelled. It's written by Matt McGloin. Unfortunate name. Anyway... Anyway, yeah, they wrote a piece of crap article, so they can get a bit of banter. Anyway, so we're just going to read through it. We're just going to read through it, and we're just going to point out terrible journalism and just basically misleading stuff as well. And there's also other instances of misleading news as well. So they go, following the initial rumor that Arrow was getting cancelled, which turned out to be true, that's false. Arrow didn't get cancelled, it just ended. They just decided to end on their own terms. That's something that's been said multiple times. Did Game of Thrones get cancelled? Did Breaking Bad get cancelled? Did any other show that finishes after multiple seasons get cancelled? Some do, but in this case, Arrow didn't. It didn't get cancelled. If it got cancelled, why would it get 10 episodes? They wouldn't have given it a season 8. So F's in the chat for this site already, and they go, it was then said that Supergirl could possibly get the axe and be replaced by a Superman series, with Legends of Tomorrow potentially on the chopping block as well. Now, just to give you some context, these are all rumors that this site made up. So they're going back to their own made up rumors. So It's like delusion at its best. They then go today during the CW's presentation at the Television Critics Association press tour. CW President Mark Pedowitz touched upon whether the shows could get cancelled, but while he didn't confirm they will still be around, he noted regarding their cancellations, hopefully it will be a long time from now. But this is actually false because other people that were live tweeting from the event actually said this: there are no plans for The Flash, Supergirl, or Legends of Tomorrow to end at this time. And that's exactly what Mark Pedowitz says. So that's a quote that this site intentionally left out. They have other quotes from this panel, but they intentionally left out the quote that goes against this argument that they're trying to make. They then go that we believe in these franchises, this universe will continue for many, many years, Pedowitz said about the Arrowverse, might I say. As we see, the CW is hoping the shows stick around, but it should be said their ratings have been dwindling, particularly in the case of Supergirl and Legend of Tomorrow. And then they say see below, and we'll go to those ratings and graphs in a second. So if the trend continues, more than likely the CW will replace them with new DC shows. The TCA event also saw the CW confirm a new DC series will be coming to the network, but stopped short of giving any clues as to what it might be. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one that's thinking this. Hopefully some of you guys are, because it'd be nice just to think that there's people thinking this as well. But is this person just completely forgetting what the point that they made in the first sentence, that Arrow is, in their case, being cancelled, and in the, the truth of it being just ending, the show coming in will be replacing Arrow. They do realize that. Like the CW is pushing for like Batwoman and Supergirl to be on the same night. Whatever show that comes in will be replacing Arrow, and probably replacing Arrow's time slot. So once again, intentionally just ignoring something to try and push another narrative. They then go regarding the Supergirl cancellation rumor. The rumor offered that Crisis would create some sort of new CW DC TV universe that is said to be drastically different. I was actually told similar information at Comic-Con, in that Crisis would be used to give the entire DC universe a soft reboot. I'm sure you were, mate. The rumors surrounding the Arrowverse and more possibly getting some sort of reboot makes sense, as following Crisis, Stephen Amell won't be on the CW as Arrow ends. Why call it the Arrowverse if Stephen Amell and Arrow aren't part of it? Now this is just tinfoil stuff. Like that's just like some sort of them using some sort of logic to try and prove a point that doesn't exist. Oh, because Arrow's ending, the whole universe is going to change, so it isn't called the Arrowverse anymore, and it's called something else. It's called Arrowverse for a reason, just because Arrow started it. That's the whole point. This universe is called the Arrowverse because it all stemmed from Arrow. That is why it's called the Arrowverse. It's not called the Arrowverse because Arrow is like the top show that leads all of it. Like if that's the case, it'd be called the Flashverse or the Flash Universe or something along those lines. Like you would have noticed throughout this entire article, there's limited sources to back up any points, and there's also what do you want to call it? Sources that are actually left out to try and push their false narrative. But now we move into these Supergirl ratings. Now, if you look at these, you go, wow, after season 1, there's a massive drop. But most of you guys will know, especially if you watch Supergirl, season 1 of Supergirl was on CBS, a network that is more mainstream, which in turn gives you much, much, much more potential audience. So they start off with 13 million viewers for the pilot, and it did drop to, around 6 million? I think that's on 6. I don't have my glasses on, so I think it's at 6 million there. So yeah, it lost over half in its first season, but if you look at when it gets to the CW, it's a steady decline, but you got to remember the CW streaming on CW Seed is growing. Like, sure, there would be people that drop out of the shows. I'm not trying to push that Supergirl is at the same viewership. Don't try and say that, because I'm not trying to say that at all. There would be dwindling viewership, but it's been proven that the numbers are sort of inaccurate in regards to people, what do you want to call it, recording more and also watching on the CW Seed. Like, that's been proven. Like, Supergirl is nowhere near the point where it would be cancelled, and neither is Legends either. Now, if we go to Legends, like, Legends has, like, obviously massive spikes because those are where the crossovers are. Like, Legends has dropped an audience as well. Like, that's obviously clear. Like, if I had to choose, I wouldn't be surprised if Legends ended. Like, if one of the shows was going to end, but I don't necessarily, they'd be forced to cancel, because I think Legends still wouldn't be costing the what do you want to call it, the company too much money. I think it would still make money for the company. And they also made up a thing about Mark Hamill's Joker being in the Crisis as well. And the only reason they came up with this is because Kevin Conroy's Batman, or Bruce Wayne, will be in Crisis as well. And Mark Hamill obviously voiced the Joker in the Batman animated series as well. Once again, they just pulled this stuff out of their ass. They've been called out on it for making it up. And Mark Guggenheim, a consultant for Arrow, and he's like basically one of the head people on Crisis, called this site out specifically for making up the Tom Welling and Linda Carter Crisis rumors, that those two actors would be back, would be coming into Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that Linda Carter would specifically be playing Wonder Woman. Mark Guggenheim specifically called them out. So in future, if you see an article from cosmicbook.news, don't click on it for one, but also don't believe it, because it is crap. I'm no longer going to even be associating any sort of thing I use in my videos with them or another site called We Got This Covered. We Got This Covered got lucky with the Black Lightning stuff, and that's just because they luckily timed another bullcrap article without any sources or evidence. And then like a couple days later, Black Lightning got confirmed that they would be in Crisis. So ignore those two sites. I know this was a bit of I wouldn't say it's a negative video, just more of a PSA, if you want to call it. But thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you agree with what I'm saying, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support for that. Let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. Did you believe any of this, or did you know it was bull crap? And yeah, I think I've given enough sources to basically call these people out. And just don't click on their stuff anymore. I've done you the pleasure. I've given you the screenshots. There's no need to do it. But yeah, leave any opinions you have in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.